everybody, it's finally a new episode of Beauty and the Beard Bedtime Stories. I'm the Beard.
I'm the Beauty.
And we missed you guys over the holiday break. We took a little time out for Christmas and New Year's and stuff, but we're back, better than ever, ready to read a cool bedtime story. So what do you got tonight, Kate? Oh, you can trace the letters later. We gotta read. Come on, babe.
Yeah. I was trying to finish it.
Well, you can trace them later. Okay, how ready you go? Oh, so did you have a good Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you miss everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, we missed them too.
Huh?
Right. Sit down.
Oh.
Oh, you want to show off your dolls or your babies?
Hmm.
So who are these?
Hmm.
Get over here and tell everybody who those are.
Baby and Daisy the Moon.
BB and Gracie the Moo Cow. You showed them those before.
What's that?
What? Alright.
Did I?
Yeah, you did, because I had a little deja vu moment. I feel like we told them about Gracie Moo Cow and BB before. Alright, so this story is called Green Beans by Elizabeth Thomas. So we're excited about this. And it's got a grandma on the front, it looks like. So it is. Okay. We got this from the library. Well, it's my first book in a couple weeks. We're excited. I mean, we've been reading, but we haven't been doing videos. So we're glad to be back. Glad to be back. All right. Oops. All right. Here we go. Grandma was very strict. She said she was correct. There are certain proper ways that one has to do things, she said. Everyone usually obeyed her. Don't just snatch some grapes willy-nilly like that, she'd tell me. Use the grape snips. So here is Grandma, a little girl, grabbing grapes. So we got here. I have to use the little silver scissors with the grape clusters on the handles and carefully cut off a small, neat bunch. Much tidier, Dorothea, she'd say. All right, so our main character's name is Dorothea, and this is her grandma. All right, every Saturday after lunch, Grandma would close her door, recline in her chaise lounge, and listen to the Metropolitan Opera sing on the radio, just for her. Sometimes she'd make me listen. It's by Verdi, she'd sigh. Isn't it thrilling? So here's the girl reading her book down there, and Grandma making her listen to the radio. It's hard to turn pages when you got my arm, but I like holding on to it. She also loved her garden. She planted it with pink roses and gold zinnias. Yellow snapdragons, purple pansies, and green beans. Grandma had loved green beans ever since she had a bad stomachache, and green beans were the only thing that tasted good to her. They're good for whatever ails you, she would say. I prefer frozen peas. They were prettier. So here they are, with the green beans and planting flowers and a little bit of everything. Pretty cool, huh? Every day, Grandma would be out in her garden, and she would weed and water and make sure that all the plants were growing properly. There will be no lollygagging, she told them. Most of the plants were obedient. The beans were another story. Scamps, Grandma called them. Jackanapes? Jackanapes. At first, they wouldn't grow at all, and when they did come up, they did not look very healthy. So here they are out planting stuff. Grandma was giving her the business about how the plants are supposed to look. Grandma made them a special strengthening tonic, and they were listless. She watered them with special water, and they got sicker. So Grandma was doing all she can to try to get these plants to grow the right way. What do you think's gonna happen, Kate?
Get more worse.
Huh?
I think it's gonna get more worse.
Gonna get more worse?
Yes.
She sprayed them with medicine, and they stayed puny and sad. She covered them up at night with burlap blankets, and they stopped growing completely. Oh no! So Grandma's getting a little frustrated here. Then one raw, rainy night, we had frozen peas with our dinner. Dad saw Grandma glaring at the ones on her plate. These are very special peas, he said, and he read from the box. These lush vegetables are harvested from fertile fields, frozen farm fresh and packed brim full of Mother Nature's goodness, with added salt. What could be better, he coaxed. Mother Nature can do better than this, snapped Grandma, and she folded up her napkin and jabbed it into its holder, and then she just left the table. So Grandpa was trying to tell him how cool the frozen peas are, and Grandma ain't having it. She would rather it be from nature. What are you doing, man? Alright, we saw her staring out the window at the rain pelting down on her whispery bean plants. We felt sorry for Grandma and her poor beans, but Dad said, "Now don't you fret about Grandma. She wouldn't like that one little bit. Let's scoot on up and start your bath." So, trying to make the best out of the situation. They know Grandma's not happy. In my experience, Grandma ain't happy. Nobody's happy. For the next 2 days, Grandma kept herself busy getting ready for the trip that she took every year. She packed and cooked and cleaned, and gave Dad big lists of what to do while she was away. Before she left, Grandma and I walked through the garden. We went past the pink roses, the yellow snapdragons, the purple pansies, to the droopy brown beans. "All right, Dorothea," she said briskly. "I know you'll do your best." So, Grandma's getting ready to take a trip. She's talking things over with Dorothea. Think Dorothea's going to take good care of them while Grandma's away? No. All right, we'll see. It rained most of the week that she was gone, and the morning that Grandma was due back, we tried to do some of the things on Dad's list. At the last minute, we rushed out to pull up the weeds, but we just stood and stared. We didn't even hear the taxi door slam. "Well," Grandma said from behind us. "Well." Grandma showed up. Think they're going to get in trouble? Maybe. In only a week, the beans had grown so much that they were starting to crowd the flowers. Grandma tried to make them stay on their poles, but they refused to behave themselves. "Whippersnappers," she scolded. Dad teased her. "Are these magic beans?" "Certainly not," said Grandma. But one day we saw Grandma take some grapes without using the grape snips. And one Saturday we heard polka music coming from behind her closed door. So here's Dad and Dorothea dancing the polka music. I hear polka music and all I think is that was John Candy in Home Alone. We watched Home Alone, didn't we? Over Christmas? Are you awake? Okay. You don't remember Home Alone? About the boy making traps?
Oh yeah, I do.
Oh, making traps. Finally, one night, Dad tied our napkins into pirates' hats, and we both sang "We Gathered Together to Eat Green Beans" as Grandma brought in a heaping bowlful. She acted shocked and called us hooligans, but she hummed along with us as she filled our plates. Grandma's beans still weren't as pretty as the frozen peas, but I found that I couldn't stop eating them. "That's quite enough," Grandma said. You're not a starving barbarian. You'll leave the pattern on the plate, please." So they finally get the beans going, and everybody seems to really like the beans. Dorothea likes the beans a lot. All right. Oh my God. That's it. All right, the end. So they finally got the beans to grow, and once they finally grew, everybody seemed to like them. So this is Green Beans by Elizabeth Thomas. Pretty neat little book. Kind of nostalgic for anybody who ever did some gardening with Grandma. I like your pink pajamas. Oh, she hit me. All right, so we're good for tonight. You want to tell everybody good night and thanks for reading with us?
Bye.
And
Bye.
What do you tell them?
Thank you for reading us.
Thanks for reading with us. We're so glad you're back. We'll have another story tomorrow. So be good. Please stop. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Give me a wink and a smile.